what's in the bag of Golf Slump in 2024. I don't think I've actually shown you guys what club I'm hitting and everything else that's in my bag, so let's get straight into it. All right, starting off with the wedges. It's the Sky Forger wedges, and I've got them in 60, 56 and 52. I don't really use the 56 much because it's either flop it with a 60 degrees or keep it low with 52, but 56 does come pretty handy between that awkward distance. So and yeah, these clubs have been helping me so much around the greens. And then moving on to my irons, so from pitching wedge to 8 iron, I have the Tacoma 301 MBs. I used to have all my irons to MBs, and honestly the reason why I still have the pitching wedge 9 iron and 8 iron in the MBs is because I like the look of them. But I had to switch up all my lower irons only because I just couldn't really hit them very well. But still with the MBs you can, shape your shots well, and it's still very forgiving. And now moving on to the lower irons, from 7 iron all the way to 4 iron. I've got the 301 CBs. As mentioned before, the reason why I switched to CBs is because it's slightly more forgiving, and honestly I should have never hit blades in the first place. For me, I think the most important thing is the look. Obviously when you stand up to the ball, when you stand over your ball, the club's got to look good because it gives you confidence that you're going to hit it well. Really like the look of these. Honestly, even with the MBs before, I was still striking it a lot more, but I'm just sacrificing a little bit more, a little less distance, but not too much, and they're still just as great. And then for my driving iron, I have the 2 iron Utility 101U. This thing is honestly the best addition to my bag, especially into the wind. If the hole is tight, I would choose this any day of the week, especially when the driver gets a little bit too high and launches up into the wind, gets caught up in the wind, balloons up, especially with all the courses that I play in Melbourne, with all the links courses and sandbelt courses. There's heaps of hazards, fairways are tight, you need to keep it in the middle of the fairway. This is my go-to, just knock it down, it just kind of cuts through the wind. It's been such a huge help for me. And the shaft is the KBS Hybrid in 80 stiff. I'm not the biggest tech guy, I don't really know what that means. I've just been fitted to these, and yeah, it's been working pretty good. And then moving on to my 3-wood, I have the Tacoma Ignis 3-wood. It comes in 5-wood as well. Just the way they look is just great. As I've mentioned before, look is very important for me. As you step over it, it looks great, and I know you guys can relate a lot with the 3-wood or 5-wood, trying to hit it in the air, and you kind of get a little bit up on it and you hit a lot of top shots. But with this one, you don't even need to try. You hit this one and it just launches so high up in the air without you even trying to hit it up. So you can still hit it down. It'll go as high as you want it to. Very forgiving. Yeah, really great club. And the shaft is the Hazardous Smoke in 60 grams, low spin. Once again, I'm not the biggest tech guy, I don't really know what that means. Now moving on to the big dog, the driver. You might have known that I used to play with a Callaway Maverick Sub-Zero for a longest time. And the reason being is that there was just nothing else that matched that. But recently I changed it over to the Paradigm AA Smoke in the Max. So I'm sticking with the Max 9 degrees in the 65 flex. Honestly, this thing is probably one of my favorite clubs in the bag. I can trust that. I can probably hit this straighter than most of my irons, except for my 2 iron, of course. But yeah, this one, I step over it, just goes like an absolute rocket. I love this club very much, very forgiving. And as soon as I switch over to the AA Smoke, I feel like the dispersion has been a lot slimmer as well. My mishits are usually, your pull duck hooks or maybe like pull cuts. And this has really helped me to kind of slim that down a little bit more and hitting more fairways. To the last piece of my weaponry, the Lab Putter Golf, and this is the Mez 1. I had the choice between the Mez 1 or Mez 2, which is the bigger head version, but I really like the small head as I'm a pretty short and small guy. I just didn't want to look like Poseidon out there with the huge chunky putter. The thing that I love most about these lab putters is the fact that they have the forward press. So as you can see, the shaft is the grip is positioned in a way where the shaft is already, you know, it has a lean to it already, so you don't need to press the hands forward, which is something that I don't actually even do with a normal putter. And it's, yeah. So what that hand press does is it helps you to get that roll, the initial roll, a little bit smoother, instead of having it, you know, straight down. This is probably the worst part of my game. Because I struggle so much with the putting, this has helped so much. Even if you put a bad stroke, the balance that this head has allows you to hit it exactly down the line that you want it to go. Yeah, thank you Lab Putter for sending this. I had the DF2, I believe, but then again, just standing over it, it just didn't look as great because of the shape and the size of it. It was like about this big. This just looks so much better. Now to the bowl that I'm using. I'm using the Titleist Pro V1s. As I've said before many times in this video, I'm not the biggest tech guy. I used to use a TaylorMade TP5. I really like that ball because when you open up a brand new TaylorMade TP5s, they're so sticky, and I really like that. And it helps the club to grab the ball and generate a lot of spin, and I just like the feeling of the stickiness. But then for some reason I just recently changed to Titleist Pro Vs. My brother has always been a huge fan of Titleist. He's always said Titleist bowls are always the best in the market, so I thought, okay, maybe this might help me to play a little bit better, I don't know. Then lastly, let's talk about the bag. This is actually the new Takomo bag. It's currently only available in America right now, I believe. I think they're trying to work out the shipping logistics side of it to ship it globally. I mean, just look at it. This is just sick. The front pocket is magnetic. Just allows you to get easier access to your golf balls or your tees. You've got plenty of side zips, heaps of pockets. I mean, like, it just looks so good. So shout out to Takomo for being my sponsor and allowing me to play a little bit better than I would have ever done. It's been a huge part of my game. I think that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions in regards to my clubs, don't ask me because I probably can't tell you.